So, talking to my friends who are trainers, physical therapists, strength coaches, and I want to talk about this concept of the sports fan versus the sports commentator. Now, forget about what those people actually do and just understand it from an analogy standpoint and how that applies to our body of work. And if you want to build recognition, or what type of recognition you have or don't have, or where you stand in regards to your opinions based off of your body of work. So what's the difference between a sports commentator, someone who gets paid to express their opinion, that's what they do on sports, and the sports fan sitting at the bar or sitting in front of their TV or sitting in the stands and expressing their opinion? Well, the sports commentator has stepped out beyond that realm, beyond the realm of just yelling at the TV or yelling at the radio or just talking to their friends. They've stepped out beyond that, and by stepping out, they've drawn attention by their body of work that they've built to demonstrate that their opinion is worth being paid for by other people to talk about and to hear. So what that demonstrates is that all opinions are not equal, even though everybody can talk about the same thing. I'm a sports fan. Yeah, I can talk about football, but I have not stepped out in my line of work, or have not demonstrated competency beyond what a fan is capable of doing to credit somebody else coming back and paying me to hear my opinion. So I'm not the same as a sports commentator, because my body of work, I am what my body of work says I am. And my body of work says I'm not a sports commentator. I'm not worthy of having my opinion be paid for. So you see, that's the difference between someone in a professional ranks. Everybody is a trainer if we're talking about personal trainers and strength coaches, just like everybody is a sports fan. But what else have you done to garner something in addition to that? To get paid to stand up in front of people, to have people pay you for your opinion on consult calls. You see, this all circles back to something. I don't play the Facebook, debate, social media debate back and forth. And one of the things I tell people is I say, hey, look, I put out my opinions when I want. I have one-way conversations. If there's a direct scientific study that contradicts what I say, you would just share that. But if it's not as easy as that. People have different opinions and things. Okay, great. What I tell people is, if I sit here and debate with you, for free, all my paying clients are getting robbed. Now, I've had people, and that's very true. So I say, look, this is what my consulting rate is. Pay that. It's very easy. You can just pay that online, and then you get me for a half hour or hour, depending on the rate you pay, and then you could tell me how full of shit I am and tell me how wrong I am, and good, great. But if you want more from me, you got to give more first. That's how life works, all right? So, but a lot of people don't like that, and they think, well, wait a minute here. I'm a trainer. I can talk about bicep curls. You could talk about bicep curls. We're all equal here. This is where the whole sports commentator versus the sports fan are. So everybody's the trainer, if we get the analogy, because both people are having experience in talking about sports. So that would be the sports fan. But what else have you have done to step outside, or in addition to that trainer box, that garners you to be the sports commentator, to get your own radio show, to get your own TV show, and be paid for your opinions, and have other people who are fans tune in and listen to you? That requires an additional level of body of work. And once you've built that body of work, you're standing on a body of work in a relative field that other people aren't. And in that case, it's not equal. So that's why some people earned the position based on their body of work to get paid for something that sure anybody can talk about. But have you demonstrated competency about your opinions of when you say something, how relevant, how reliable, I should say, is it? So let me give you some practical advice based on this whole thing. Instead of spending a lot of your time, if this is somebody like you and you have a lot to say, great. Don't get on somebody else's Facebook page, some expert or whatever, and try to say it to them. Write your own article. Don't get so caught up about being the second person, right? So the football coach makes this decision, and then the sports fan gets on the radio and makes the call and waits on an hour for the line to get on to talk about it, and then it's forgotten about. Why not start your own website? Why not write your own article and let other people read it at their own pace? because they're not on your timeline. You're the only one that's on your timeline. And that's the other problem. When you want to debate with somebody, you are now expecting them to be on your timeline, and that's very selfish, right? And then when they don't want to do it at the time that you want to do it, you think, oh, I won, and it's this whole circle in the drain kind of thing. So the other thing is, you're not standing on the same level of body of work as somebody who's built that up, right? So you're a sports fan, they're a sports commentator. So work on becoming, if you've got a lot to say, do it at your own pace. Don't say it on other people's pages. Say it on your pages. Drive the traffic to yourself. Start your own blog. Do your own videos. And start to work on becoming somebody who's worthy of being a sports commentator. And then you can develop your own stuff. And then, everybody can talk. That's fine. But understand the body of work that you're standing on. So keep that analogy in mind. Sports fan versus sports commentator. Everybody's the trainer. Everybody can talk training. Everybody has experience. Just like my dad's got 30 years experience watching sports. It doesn't make him qualified to be a sports commentator. All right? Understand that. Understand the difference. Respect the difference. And if you want to transition from sports fan to sports commentator, you have to step out beyond those doors and beyond just what general personal training, semi-private training, group training has to offer. And you got to go beyond that. You got to write articles. You got to put yourself out there. You got to do your own videos and whatnot. And then when you've done that, you'll start to see, and you've earned that, and you're standing on that body of work, and other people are not standing on that body of work, and your body of work says what you are, and their body of work or lack of body of work says what they are, you'll realize things aren't equal. You respect everybody for their opinions, but certain opinions garner being paid additional for, other ones do not. So just because everybody can say it on social media, just because everybody can talk about sports in front of the TV or in the stands, does not mean everybody has built a body of work that demonstrates other people should pay them to hear it. So, obviously my body of work demonstrates I want to be the sports commentator. The question is, what do you want to do?